Hello everyone, Casey here. We're going to walk through the way that this course is structured. You've had me for a number of classes now, so the layout's going to be fairly similar to what you've had from me before, but obviously things are a bit different. Like there's, no shop days and we're not going to be able to have in-person meetings. So I just want to try to make this as clear as possible. So I might be a touch long-winded here, but I'll try to keep it to a minimum. Highlight all the important things. So on the main page, we find ourselves at FOA 240.01. We have just the course description out of the course catalog, a photo of a torque shift cutaway. So this would be out of a Super Duty. And then the first thing that you come to is the reading list. That reading list is also right here on the main page as an image so that you can see what is planned out for the entirety of this course. So for the first week, we've got a couple of chapter homework assignments. Or zoom in for those with fuzzy seeing. So we have two chapters that need to be read, and that the only week that we're going to have multiple chapters out of that textbook is this first week, because I'm just trying to hit the ground running and make it through some content, and also ease things up because all the Ford dealers got together and bought the school a plug-in electric vehicle, and I'm going to be taking a online version of the training through Ford because I was supposed to go away this week, the 31st through the 2nd, down to Southborough to take that training. So the last week of this class is going to be getting you through those certifications as well. And I guess it's kind of useful that I'm taking the class online so I have some kind of an idea of how to provide it to you online as well. But this way you're going to get your certification in automatic transmission service, trans diagnosis. We'll finish up the manual drivetrain certification. There's not a test for that, not a cert test anyway for that. And then we'll do the plug-in hybrid 39 curriculum as well. So you will be, hopefully, if you have all your e-learning done, fully certified as a master tech, and then also you'll be certified in hybrid electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles as well. So it's going to be a wild ride, I would imagine. So that being said, you're going to have a weekly chapter homework assignment. You're going to have a weekly lab assignment, and this lab assignment is an online quiz, and it's going to pertain to the lecture and some of the videos that I've taken and posted on YouTube. So it's like a virtual lab where we're using our brains to answer some questions. And these I'm going to try to keep to somewhere in the 10 question range. So it's some of the stuff you have to actually do some calculations or look up some info or do some thinking. But it's not going to be super long. It's not going to take a ton of time because we are so lucky that the dealers have been interested in providing transmission work to you guys. I've had a call and an email already from a couple of you that show that transmission work is underway, so that's really fantastic, and I'm happy to see that. Make that small again, maybe not that small. On the side here, you're going to see course workbooks. These are the books that you would get if you went to training in Southborough for the same course. I'll also be posting the PowerPoints over here on the side in case anyone's interested in taking a peek at those. And then these bookmarks are links to New Ford Tech. Guess where that's going to take you. And then also, if I find videos as we go along, I'll be posting them here, along with the fact that if you come to this weekly assignments section, each week there will be a new handout down here. I'll give that a click. And you can either save it, and I would recommend using Save As so you know where this file goes. And I would just put it on my desktop, or if you have a special file for this, you can do it that way, or you can open this file as well. This is a compressed folder, so it's like a zip file. You don't have to unpack it if you don't want to. You can just click on the stuff that's right in here, and we'll start with read first. Each week there will be a little love note from me, and it's going to be a PDF. I just need to upload this video to YouTube so I can add the final link into this Word document. But each week you'll see a read first document, and it'll have some nice little things that I have to say to you. I'll have my contact info in there every single week, so it's easy to find. And then all of these hyperlinks, so for these are me lecturing, talking about gear ratios, different types of gears, planetary power flow for this first week. And then there's also a couple links down here to websites. So this is an old video that I think is pretty interesting, and I refer to it in one of the lectures. So I'd take a look at it. It's old, black and white, but the information that they have in there is pretty top notch. And then under here is a link to a website for gear ratio calculation, since that's what our online lab is going to be pertaining to. I also have a link down to stars, and if I note down here, but I'll close this so we can see it. That's the one from my other class. If we go here, the next thing I want you to see is I'm going to put this up every week too. I'm not going to zoom in. You remember what this looks like. So this is a list of all the certifications that you have to do. Some of you have a fair amount of that hybrid certification e-learning stuff done already on STARS. Some of you do not. So I had sent an email out earlier letting you know that it's a thing, and giving you information about what courses will need to be done. And this is an update because at the end of this semester, if you're graduating, if you have enough credits to graduate, you need to make sure you have all your e-learning done so that I can give you your credentials, because we've got, I think it's like a week after your graduation date that we have to drop you as asset students, and I won't be able to add certifications for you any longer at that point. So we really need to get this stuff done. I'm happy to say that the vast majority of you have gotten so much of it done. You're sitting in really, really good positions. I also went through and added any certifications that you may not have had yet, but that you had completed the certification tests and the e-learning for. I had a student reach out to me asking if that's something that was possible. So that stuff should show up already because I did it yesterday. So you should, once the server refreshed this morning, it should be up on your STAR screen. So I'm sure your dealers will be happy to have you even more certified. So let's close that. A copy of the reading list. I got a gear ratio calculation worksheet in here that'll help you with the online lab. And then I have copies of the PowerPoints. I have them both in PowerPoint version, and then there are PDF versions as well. If you don't have PowerPoint on your computer, just go onto your student email and download it, but you can also just look at the PDF version. You don't need anything special to be able to see that. I've worked very hard to make sure that this entire class can be done on a cell phone, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with the results. It's all pretty straightforward. Let's go to coursework. I don't know why the formatting is so weird. That's what you get for zooming in and out a whole bunch of times. But I have the class broken up by week, so you'll be able to find all of your homework assignments under whatever week, and I got the dates there and everything, so it should be pretty straightforward for you to find what you need to be up to. 2 homework assignments. Here's that online lab. All right, and for all of these, I mean, these are just multiple choice, the questions right out of the back of the book, just like what we've done before. You'll get 3 opportunities to try the homework assignment, and I'll give you your highest grade that you receive. The same will be true for the online lab. you get 3 chances, and I'll give you the highest grade that you receive. So if you get a 90 and you want to knock out that 100, go for it. Might as well take the opportunity to help your GPA out, get a good grade in the class, maybe even learn a little bit of something along the way. Who knows? But I'm making sure that you have plenty of chances, because I don't want something like you drop the internet for a minute and somehow the thing submits itself. I don't want you to be stressing out about that. So if something goes wrong on an attempt, just remember you still have a couple. And then, and probably most importantly, we've got these dealership shop activity portal. This is just a journal, so just like if you were doing your journal at the end of a shop day. But since you and I aren't having shop days together and you're doing this at the dealership, I have some outline about what I would like you to be doing. So the title of each report, I just want you to say what you did. So if you did a clutch and a DPS 6, to say clutch. If you diagnosed that the vehicle needed the wiring harness fixed going into the bulkhead connector, say you could put diag or wiring repair. If you did an overhaul, say overhaul. I think you get the point, right? The due date for the reports are the very last day of class at 11:55 p.m. Okay, so you have the entirety of these 6 weeks to get this stuff done, even though the last week of class we should be starting to walk towards the plug-in hybrid world. I don't have control over what jobs you get or when you get them, so just work with what you got. The maximum number of entries that you need to make is 3. All right, so if you submit 3 of them and your dealer keeps giving you transmission work, you don't have to keep doing this at that point, okay? And the reason why the maximum number is 3 is because I want a decent amount of stuff here. So your write-up needs to be 3 paragraphs long. So that's at least 4 sentences per paragraph. So that's at least 12 sentences. It's not a ton of writing. I'm sure that you can put that together. Spelling and grammar count. Okay, so write it up in Google Docs or in Word or something that can help you check your spelling. Make sure we're using punctuation, capital letters, all that stuff. I'll take points off if you don't. I want a repair order for the vehicle. If you, I want you to use the CM repair order. I don't need the customer name or anything like that, because that's private information, and I want to make sure that you don't share that stuff with me. No license plate numbers or anything like that, but if we can, a VIN number would be great. Make your make, model, description of the concern on the repair order, what you did for the diagnostic procedure, so like pinpoint test Z or what have you, and then what you did to repair it. And this doesn't have to be lengthy. Like I'm looking for the substance to be in the paragraphs. This just needs to be like bullet points about what ended up happening. I would like you to add service information for what you did. So if you did an overhaul, do the copy and paste out of PTS of the overhaul procedure. If you put a link in, like a hyperlink into PTS, it just brings me to the vehicle identification section, and it doesn't show me whatever you were looking at. So just highlight, copy the service information right out of the window that you're using and paste it into the journal entry. So I'd like information like that. If you followed a TSB, do the same thing with the TSB. Photo documentation. So I want some photos of what you're doing. You don't need to take like 20 photos of the repair, but I'd like to see, a photo of you actually working on the vehicle. So get one of your buddies or set up your phone so that it takes a picture in a second or something like that. And then just a couple more photos of the repair actually happening. So you don't have to go crazy with that. And then down here at the bottom is the way that it will be graded. So it shows how many points each of these requirements is worth, so that if you don't get 100, you can see pretty clearly why that may or may not have happened. If you have questions about it, just email or call me. If you call my desk number, it'll go straight to my cell phone, so I'll be able to get phone calls as well, so we can talk in person if that makes things easier. And when you click on this, there's just the one report, launch the tool. I want this to go back to normal. There we go. I did it. Launch the tool, and like I said, it's just like doing a journal entry. Oop. All right. So you go in, add an entry, and then you can always add an entry, throw some photos in there, and then go back later and edit that entry and add your paragraphs or anything like that that needs to be added so you get your full credit. Let us head back to the main page. The gradebook is going to be 30% lecture, 70% lab, so that those reports and the weekly online lab is a real important part of this class. There are tests as we go along as well, certification exams and all that kind of good business. So make sure that you're staying up to date with all of those things. You doing your homework is the only way that I can take attendance, so I want to make sure that you understand that, because I'll reach out, obviously, if I'm not getting anything from you, but you can't just wait till the end of the class and do everything. The homework assignments, so like all the chapter 1 stuff, the 2 chapter homework assignments in the lab, this will close on the 5th at 11:55 p.m. So that's not this Sunday, but next Sunday at 11:55. The following Monday morning, the 6th, week 2 stuff will show up, and then you'll be able to start working on that. But these aren't going to stay open for the entire class, so make sure you're doing your homework every single week, so that one, I can take attendance, because if you don't do any of the homework, it's like you didn't show up to class, and eventually I have to report to the registrar that you didn't show up for the class. Okay, and if you're struggling with something, just reach out and we'll see what kind of a conclusion we can come to. I'm sure that we can be reasonable and work something out, okay? But I'm looking forward to the class. I was really looking forward to being able to teach you in your last class before you graduate, and definitely sad that we're not going to be able to spend time together at the school and in the shop. But on Fridays at 10 o'clock in the morning, I will be hosting an hour-long office hours. So if you have questions, if you just want to say hello, I'll email everybody a link to a Zoom meeting, and you'll be able to click on that, and we'll have office hour time together. If you just want to pop on and say hi, that's great. The college has asked that we post the office hours during a time at which the class normally would have been happening. So I chose Friday because it's about halfway through the whole week, and I didn't want to get into it too early, because I figured that if I made office hours on Wednesday, you would only have had 2 days to even look at any of the information. You may not have any questions. So I figured that Friday would give us the time to think about what's going on for the week. We still have the couple days of the weekend that you can get a bunch of this stuff knocked out. So if it doesn't work, we can reassess and change things going forward, but we'll start with Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? And like I said, I'll send out an email so you guys all get that information. Aside from that, I think I have spoken much too much about all of this stuff. I'm sure that some of you are tuning out at this point anyway, so I miss you. I hope that you're doing well. Hope things aren't going too crazy at the dealerships. From what I understand, things are pretty slow right now. So be safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the other side.